The story of the platform that connected billions of people across the planet did not begin inside a massive technology company. It started in a small college dorm room with a quiet student who loved building things with code. His name was Mark Zuckerberg. Long before the world knew the name Facebook, Zuckerberg was simply a curious kid fascinated by computers and how they could connect people. Mark Zuckerberg was born in 1984 in White Plains, New York, and grew up in the nearby town of Dobbs Ferry. His father, Edward Zuckerberg, was a dentist, and his mother, Karen, was a psychiatrist. Mark grew up in a supportive household where curiosity and learning were encouraged. From an early age, it was clear that Mark had an unusual talent for understanding computers. When Mark was around 12 years old, his father wanted a way to communicate more easily between his dental office and their home. Instead of buying expensive software, Mark decided to build a solution himself. He created a simple messaging program called ZuckNet that allowed computers in the house and the dental clinic to send messages to each other instantly. For most children, building software like that would be unimaginable. For Mark, it was simply a fun project. As he grew older, his passion for programming only intensified. His parents hired private tutors to help him develop his skills further, but many of those tutors soon realized something remarkable. Mark often understood complex programming concepts faster than the teachers themselves could explain them. During high school, he attended Phillips Exeter Academy, one of the most prestigious schools in the United States. While there, he built several software projects, including a music recommendation program called Synapse. The program was capable of learning users' listening habits and predicting what songs they might want to hear next. Major technology companies noticed the project. Both Microsoft and AOL reportedly showed interest in buying the software and even offered Mark jobs, but he turned them down. Instead, he chose to continue his education. In 2002, Mark Zuckerberg enrolled at Harvard University. Harvard was known for producing some of the brightest minds in the world, but even there, Zuckerberg quickly gained a reputation as an exceptional programmer. Among his classmates, he became known as someone who could build almost anything with code. During his sophomore year, Zuckerberg created a website that would become one of his first controversial experiments. The site was called FaceMash. It allowed students to compare photos of their classmates and vote on who was more attractive. Within hours of launching, the website spread rapidly across campus. So many students visited the site that it overloaded Harvard's servers. The university shut it down within days, and Zuckerberg faced disciplinary action. But the experiment revealed something important. People were incredibly interested in interacting with each other online. They wanted digital spaces where they could view profiles, share information, and connect socially. That insight would soon lead to one of the most influential platforms in history. In February 2004, Zuckerberg and a small group of classmates launched a new website called The Facebook. The original idea was simple. It was an online directory where Harvard students could create profiles, upload photos, and connect with other students. Unlike earlier social websites, the Facebook focused on real identities and real connections. Almost immediately, the platform became wildly popular across Harvard's campus. Within weeks, more than half of Harvard students had signed up. The rapid growth convinced Zuckerberg and his friends that the idea had potential far beyond a single university. Soon, the Facebook expanded to other Ivy League schools, then to universities across the United States. The growth was explosive. Thousands of new users joined every day. At that moment, Zuckerberg faced a life-changing decision: continue studying at Harvard or leave school and pursue the company full-time. He chose the second option. Zuckerberg moved to Silicon Valley with several co-founders, including Dustin Moskovitz and Chris Hughes. They rented a small house that served as both their home and their office. There, they spent long days and nights improving the platform and trying to keep up with its incredible growth. In 2005, the company officially dropped the word "the" and became simply Facebook. As the user base continued to expand, investors began to notice. venture capital firms saw the potential for Facebook to become something much bigger than a college networking site. But the journey was far from smooth. Facebook soon faced lawsuits and public controversies. The most famous came from Cameron Winklevoss and Tyler Winklevoss, who claimed that Zuckerberg had stolen their idea for a social network. The dispute became one of the most talked about legal battles in Silicon Valley and was eventually settled out of court. Despite the legal distractions, Facebook continued to grow at an extraordinary pace. By 2006, the platform opened its doors to the general public. Anyone over the age of 13 with an email address could join. This decision transformed Facebook from a college platform into a global social network. Over the next several years, millions of people around the world began creating profiles, sharing photos, posting updates, and reconnecting with friends and family. Facebook rapidly became one of the most influential websites on the internet. In 2012, the company reached a historic milestone. Facebook went public on the stock market, becoming one of the largest technology IPOs in history. That same year, Zuckerberg made one of the boldest decisions of his career. Facebook acquired the rapidly growing photo-sharing app Instagram for $1 billion. At the time, many analysts questioned the price, but the acquisition turned out to be one of the smartest moves in technology history, as Instagram grew into one of the most powerful social platforms in the world. 2 years later, Facebook made another massive acquisition, purchasing the messaging platform WhatsApp for $19 billion. The deal secured Facebook's dominance in global communication. As the company grew, Zuckerberg's influence expanded as well. Facebook became a central platform for communication, news, entertainment, and even political discussion. But with that influence came intense scrutiny. The company faced criticism over privacy issues, misinformation, and the impact of social media on society. Zuckerberg himself was called to testify before the United States Congress, answering difficult questions about how the platform handled data and content. Despite the criticism, Zuckerberg remained focused on the long-term vision for the company. In 2021, he announced a dramatic transformation. Facebook would no longer be just a social media company. The organization would evolve into a technology company focused on building the next generation of the internet. The company was renamed Meta Platforms. The new mission centered on creating the metaverse, a virtual world where people could interact, work, and socialize through immersive digital environments. It was a bold and controversial bet, requiring billions of dollars in investment and years of technological development. Some critics doubted the vision. Others believed it represented the future of digital interaction. Regardless of the outcome, the announcement showed that Zuckerberg was still willing to take massive risks in pursuit of transformative ideas. From a teenager building messaging software in his parents' house to the leader of one of the most powerful technology companies in the world, Mark Zuckerberg's journey is a story of ambition, innovation, and relentless belief in the power of connection. What began as a simple college project ultimately changed how billions of people communicate every single day. And whether the next chapter of the internet will truly be the metaverse remains uncertain. But if history has shown anything, it is that one idea, written in code inside a dorm room, can reshape the digital world forever.
If this story gave you a new perspective, hit like and subscribe. On the CEO Stories Hub, we tell the real stories behind the world's most powerful CEOs, the failures, the risks, and the lessons investors care about. The next story is already coming, and it might change how you see another iconic company. See you in the next one.